Hello everyone and welcome to the Power Patron Amorphage combo video. I'm really excited to get this to you, hopefully before Nationals. I am planning to do combo videos on pretty much every version of pure Power Patron. That's going to be the Amorphage build, that's going to be the build that ends on like the Odd Eyes board, and there's going to be a build that ends on the Fallen and the Virtuous board for my Power Patron Corey update. I'm hoping to get those all to you before Nats. We're starting with the Amorphage build because it is the most popular build of the deck, and I wanted to figure out how all the pro players are saying they can make Farudros and stuff with just one card before doing the lock. And I have figured it out. I'm really excited to get it to you all. We've got like 8 or so combos to get into, so let's do it. Also, before I get into it, all of the combos I'm going to do feature just cards in this list. So if there's other cards you get out of the board and it's not in this list, it won't be in the videos. So don't worry about that. All right, so we're going to be starting with a 1-card Terminus combo. I'm also going to be showing off a version of this combo that uses 3 cards in hand, 1 spell trap, 1 other card in hand, and Terminus. But we're going to be showing off the minimal combo first with no other cards in rotation. And for all of the Terminus combos, we are always going Terminus, search Vidolium, send Nervedo. It plays really well into hand traps, better than searching Medius. And you have so many ways to Medius now between Assault and the Link 2 that there is just no reason to be getting Medius off of this card pretty much ever now, unless you absolutely have to. We're now going to go scale Vidolium. Vidolium's going to summon from the grave our Nervedo, and then we're going to trigger Vidolium to search a copy of Terminus. We're going to use that as a discard for the Nervedo. We're then going to chain 1 non-finito, chain 2 Nervedo. We chain 1 non-finito to play around Harmonia, because Harmonia hat can only chain to a monster effect of a monster you control, and that only includes monsters on the field. So doing this does play around Harmonia, at least somewhat. We're then going to go Assault, search the Medius. We're going to go Medius, summon Gepredo from deck, and then we're going to link 1, the Gepredo for the Clockwork Knight. That's the Earth we're going to have in rotation for the Charmer Quartet in Bloom. If you're wondering why we're not going through Baguska, 1 is that it's more difficult, but also 2, Baguska does make you lose to cards like Imperm a lot worse, because if your opponent Imperms Baguska, they can then normal summon any monster and run over your Amorphage because it has 0 defense. So most people have kind of figured out by now, pros included, that doing Clockwork Knight instead is just better, because then you can summon the Amorphage monster in attack position. We're then going to go search the trap card. We're going to link into Beyond the Pendulum. We're going to go chain 1 Gepredo, chain 2 Beyond the Pendulum. So you might think that this is conflicting with what I said earlier, where we're trying to play around Harmonia, and you're kind of right. The difference here is that if you chain 1 Gepredo, or chain 1 Ginoldo here, you're playing around Bell, a card that you have barely played into. The only thing that, well, okay, so they could have belled Vidolium, but that's a lot less impactful than belling this, to be honest, because if you don't have if you don't have a high scale already, you can't play the game, right? So if they bell this, you're in a way worse position. Here, all you would need is any other scale, and you can keep playing, which is pretty good. The other thing is that if they negate Ginoldo and you don't have a play, you can't do anything else because of the lock on Beyond the Pendulum. So you pretty much always would prefer that they negate or stop Beyond the Pendulum more than anything else in this deck. Because if this card resolves and you don't have the ability to pen summon, your turn's over. You can't do anything. You can't use monster effects. You can't use pendulum effects. You are pretty much locked out of everything. We're going to go ahead and add back the Vidolium. So we have the Lechery and the Vidolium. We're going to go ahead and pen summon our 2 pendulums from the extra. We'll do Nervedo and Ginoldo. Ginoldo will then tag into our Genora for the trap card. If you're scared of banishing Sloth off of this, you don't have to tag out, but it will make your Power Patron Shadows of the End Times a lot worse, because you won't be able to get the field banish off of it. So just keep that in mind. If you don't want to do this, or if you don't even want to play this card, you could also cut this card or you could also instead search out a copy of Terminus, which would give you a little bit more to work with. You might also be able to search another guy and just make like another extra deck monster as well. So we're then going to go ahead and use the Exceed the Pendulum to summon the Nervedo we just added back. We're going to make Mercurium. Mercurium's going to attach Sloth to it, and then we're going to use the Medius and the Mercurium to make the Link 2. You don't have to do this. You could just link Mercurium and the Exceed into Charmer Quartet and Bloom, but making the Link 2 first allows you to get Theorealize for follow-up, which I think is helpful. We're then going to go on ahead and add the Theorealize, and then we're going to link in a Charmer Quartet and Bloom. Quartet and Bloom will then bring back the Clockwork and the Sloth. So notably, this is not the craziest end board, right? We only have this, I mean, saying a spell lock and no extra deck is not that good. But we do have the trap card as well, which will allow us to banish face down one card our opponent controls, so they can't just like summon a guy and try and run over. Also, if you're scared of your opponent just summoning like a Fenrir or just like a Bestial or just some big guy, you can also place Goliath instead, who has 500 more attack, so he doesn't lose to Bestials or Fenrir or whatever else, right? Next up, we're going to show the better version of that combo, which is Terminus plus any other card in hand and a spell trap. So we're going to do the same thing we did before. We're going to send Nervedo, add Vidolium. We're going to Vidolium summon the Nervedo, and then search Vidolia this time. Which is different from last time because we're actually going to be using the spell trap since we already had a different spell trap to pitch, instead of having to search a spell trap to discard. So now we're going to go ahead and go chain 1 non-finito, chain 2 Nervedo. Nervedo is going to summon the Ginoldo, and then we're going to set Recapture, so our combo is way more insulated than it was before. We're then going to banish the other card in our hand to summon Gepredo from deck, and then we're going to link in a Clockwork, we're going to add the trap card, and then we're going to link in a Beyond. We're going to chain 1 Ginoldo, chain 2 Beyond. Beyond's going to get Lechery, and Ginoldo is going to add back Vidolium. We're then going to go ahead and scale both of our monsters, and then pend 2. Now we're going to link into Exceed. Exceed's going to add back the Nervedo. We're going to summon back the Nervedo, and then we're going to tag the Ginoldo out for Genora. We're then going to Exceed for Mercurium. Mercurium's going to attach the Sloth, and then we're going to link in a Charmer Quartet and Bloom and bring back our monsters. So this isn't significantly better. Really, the only difference here is we didn't make the Link 2 to add the Theorealize, so it's the follow-up's a little worse. But in difference here, we have a Recapture set, so we also have a Monster Negate and Destroy, which is really good if our opponent does summon something like a Fenrir, or they have like, if they're on like Blitzclick. This beats one of the Blitzclick pop effects, right? Next up, we're going to get into the Medius combos. These are the ones that really impressed me, because these are the combos that allow you to make Varudross early, that allow you to beat the cards like Impulse on the Link 4, which is, I feel like, the scariest thing about doing these combos is that those kind of hand traps are really rough. The Medius can beat that, and actually a bunch of the combos can beat that. It just took a lot of fandangling to figure out how to get them there. So let's show it off, although I don't remember if the 1-card combo does it, but I also have a 1.5 card combo and a 1.75 card combo, which just means I have 2 other cards in hand. We're going to go Medius effect. We're going to summon the Nervedo from deck. We're going to use the Nervedo effect to tag itself out for the Nerva, and then Nervedo is going to summon from deck the Ginoldo. We're then going to link in a Clockwork Knight. Ginoldo is going to add Terminus. We're going to go Terminus, send the Ginoldo, and add the Vidolium. Vidolium is going to summon the Ginoldo back from the grave, and then we're going to trigger Vidolium to search a copy of Vidolia. We're going to link in a Beyond. We're going to Beyond chain 2. We're going to Ginoldo chain 1. We're going to get our scales that we always get, and then we're going to scale both and pend summon our 2 monsters. Now we're going to link in an Exceed. Exceed's going to add back the Ginoldo, and then we're going to Exceed effect to summon back the Ginoldo, make Mercurium. Mercurium's going to attach Sloth, and then we're going to link into the Link 2. The Link 2 is going to search out Theorealize. Now we can use Vidolia, banish the Theorealize from our hand, and then summon from deck one of our power patrons to then Exceed for Varudross before we make our Link 4. Now our Link 4, while it's protected by a negate, can bring back our 2 monsters. So this is similar. It has an Omni negate and then our Amorphage boy, but this let us make the Omni negate before doing Charmer Quartet and Bloom. So if they were holding something like an Imperm or an Impulse for the Charmer Quartet, it doesn't matter, because now we just negate it and they're cooked. Notably as well, if you wanted to, you also could have, if you had, if you didn't care about making Varudross, you could have added Nervedo back to your hand when we did the Exceed add back, tribute the Nervedo and the card in your hand to make the non-finito, and then still summon back the Nervedo from the grave with Exceed the Pendulum. So you wouldn't be able to get to Varudross because you do need the Vidolium summon, or the Vidolia summon, but you would get non-finito recapture. So if you just cared about the amount of interruptions you were getting, that is how you would end on more interruptions. Next, we have Nervedo. Next, we have Medius plus a spell trap. We're going to normal Medius, summon Nervedo from the deck. We're going to go ahead and use Nervedo's effect still to make Nerva. Nervedo is going to summon Gepredo. We're going to make Clockwork. We're going to add Terminus. Terminus is going to send Ginoldo and add Vidolium. We're going to go Vidolium effect to summon from the grave our Ginoldo. We're then going to trigger Vidolium to search our field spell, and then we're going to go Ginoldo 1, Beyond 2. We're going to get our scales that we always be getting. And here we're going to be able to, we're going to set our scales first, then we're going to be able to activate Vidolia. I don't know why I said this is a spell trap. It can be any other card in your hand. But now we get to activate Vidolia before we pen summon, and then we get to summon from the deck any of our power patrons, and then we get to link into Exceed before we pen summon. This is important for a few reasons, and this is the thing that really made me realize, oh, this is how they're extending so much. By doing it like this, you get to pen summon 3 monsters, and then you also get to reborn a monster still with the Exceed the Pendulum. The only thing you lose out on by doing this is that you lose out on the Exceed add back, which, since we're adding Beyond the Pendulum, or adding Lechery off of Beyond the Pendulum, that doesn't matter really. So this just gets you way more bodies than the other line would have. We're now going to go ahead and pend our 3 power patrons. We're then going to Ixies for the Varudros with the Nerva we had on field, and then make Mercurium with the other 2 power patrons. Mercurium will attach the Sloth, and then we'll link into the Link 2. The Link 2 will add Theorealize to our hand, and then Exceed will summon back the Nervedo, and then Nervedo can tag out for Non-Finito. Non-Finito can set Recapture, and then we can link into Charmer, Quartet, and Bloom and bring back our Amorphage boy. So this is pretty much everything. We got to get Varudros for an Omni Negate before we made Charmer, Quartet, and Bloom. We actually got to make Varudros before we made Mercurium. So all of the things that get us to the Amorphage line outside of Beyond the Pendulum got to resolve, or would have been able to resolve no matter what hand trap they had. So this just plays insane into a variety of hand traps if they're trying to hold them for your cards that stop the Amorphage lock. And then we also get to make Non-Finito for the recapture, so that insulates the combo even more. This is really, really strong, especially considering this is Medius plus any other card. You don't need anything else specific. And the final Medius combo I have to show off for today is Medius plus a spell trap and any other card in hand. We're going to go Medius, summon Nervedo. Now we're going to tag Nervedo for Non-Finito this time. We can do this just because we have that extra card in hand. We're going to set Recapture, so our combo's insulated from the start, which is a huge difference. We're going to go ahead and use Gepredo to add Terminus. Terminus will send a copy of Ginoldo and add Vidolium. We're then going to use Vidolium to summon from the grave the Ginoldo, and then we're going to Vidolium to search a copy of Vidolia. We're going to link into Beyond the Pendulum. We're going to get our 2 Pendulum monsters that we've been getting this whole video. We're going to activate Vidolia, we're going to scale our monsters, and then we're going to use the Vidolia to summon one of our patrons from the deck. That'll allow us to make an early Exceed the Pendulum and pen summon our 3 monsters, which gets us everything we could ever want. We're going to make Mercurium here. The one big downside about this combo is this one plays a little worse into Imperm, because if they Imperm the Mercurium here, we will not be getting to Sloth, at least not as easily. We can still make Zena now that card will be out post Chaos Origins, and that can get us there, but that's going to make it a lot harder to get to something like the Charmer, Quartet, and Bloom, which is kind of frustrating. That being said, if you have other extenders, it's not a problem at all, and this is not nearly as bad a choke point as Charmer, Quartet, and Bloom is, so this doesn't really feel all that bad. We're now going to go ahead and link into the Link 2. The Link 2 is going to search the Realize, and then we're going to use Exceed to summon back the Nervedo and Ixies for Varudros. Now we can make our Link 4 and bring back our boy. And that's the combo. We have the Theorealize in hand for follow-up. We have the same board as the 1.5 card combo. It's just this one plays a little better into a majority of hand traps because we got to start with the Non-Finito set Recapture. That's really the only difference here. But yeah, these combos are insanely powerful. I really did not realize how insulated you could make the Amorphage combo with just a few, with just something like a Medius in your opener. And a lot of the other combos can get to an early Varudros as well. So really excited to show all that off. So let's keep going. Okay, now we've got 1 card Vidolia combo, or Vidolium combo. We're going to go Vidolium, use its effect to pop itself, and then we're going to search Terminus. Terminus is going to send Gepredo, and we're going to search Medius. We're going to normal Medius, summon Nervedo, and then tag Nervedo out for Nerva. We're then going to use Nervedo to summon Ginoldo. We're then going to link into Beyond the Pendulum, and we'll go chain 2 Beyond the Pendulum, chain 1 Ginoldo. We're going to add our scales to our hand, and then we're going to pend out our 2 power patrons. Now we can link an Exceed. Exceed will add back the Nervedo, and then we can use Exceed to summon back the Gepredo that was in our grave. And now we can make the Clockwork Knight, so we have our Earth Monster for the Sloth, and then we can trigger Gepredo to add a spell trap to our hand, which will now be, which will make Mercurium first. Admittedly, I probably shouldn't have done this, just because this doing non-finito first would have insulated the combo a little more. But anyway, we can go into Mercurium, attach the Sloth, then we can go non-finito, using the Nervedo in our hand and the spell we searched, to then make non-finito, set recapture, and then we can make Charmer, Quartet, and Bloom with the Clockwork and the Exceed to then resurrect our to our Amorphage monster. And we'll use the Medius to shuffle back the Mercurium to get the Sloth into the grave. Pretty simple combo, not as strong as some of the other ones, unfortunately, and I don't think adding more cards to this combo really lets you get to Varudras either, because you have to use the Vidolium early, which does hurt your extension quite a bit, unfortunately. It's basically just a worse version of opening Terminus to start, to be honest, because it's just more fragile. But still, it's still solid, and we still get a little bit of protection for our combo. For the next combo, we've got Nervedo and any spell trap. I don't have variations of this one. This is really all you're going to need. So we're going to go non-finito, summon, search the Assault. We're going to go Assault for Medius, and then normal Medius to get Nervedo from deck. We're going to Nervedo to tag itself out for Nerva. Nervedo is going to summon from the deck the Gepredo. We're going to link in a Clockwork. We're going to Gepredo get Terminus. We're going to Terminus send our Ginoldo and add the Vidolium. We're going to Vidolium bring back the Ginoldo. And then we're going to trigger Vidolium to search out the field spell. We're then going to link in a Beyond the Pendulum, and then we're going to get our Pendulum scales, the Lechery and the Vidolium. We're then going to scale our 2 monsters, and then we are going to pend summon 2 of our patrons back to the field. We're then going to link in an Exceed. Exceed's going to add back the Nervedo, and it's going to summon the Nervedo from the grave that we binned at the start of our turn. We're then going to make an early Varudras, and then we're going to Vidolium to summon another 10 from the deck, and then use those, the 2 10s we have on board to make Mercurium, and then we'll link the Mercurium and the Medius for the Link 2. The Link 2 will get Theorealized, and then we will make our Charmer, Quartet, and Bloom, and bring back our Earths. So again, this is another combo that makes Varudras early, so that we can insulate our combo. And we even got to make it before Mercurium. And this is like one of the worst ways to start your combo, because you have to open Nervedo, which should be one of the worst starters, but the the line it sets up is really good into the hand traps that this deck is so scared of. So, in my opinion, very impressive stuff. We have the Varudras Negate, the non-finito fuse, and of course the Amorphage lock. It's really easy to get to these cards. It's really nuts. Anyway, let's go on to the next combo. Next up, we have Vidolia 1.5 card combo. We're going to activate Vidolia, banish the spare card in our hand to summon the Nervedo from deck. Nervedo is going to tag out for Nerva, and then we're going to trigger Nervedo to summon Gepredo. We're going to link in a Clockwork Knight, and then Gepredo will search Terminus. We're going to activate Terminus, send the Ginoldo, and add Vidolium. We're going to use Vidolium to summon from the grave the Ginoldo, and then we're going to trigger Vidolium to search the trap card. We're going to link in a Beyond the Pendulum, and add our 2 scales from the deck to the hand and from the extra deck to the hand, and then we're going to scale our 2 monsters and pend summon 2. We're then going to go ahead and make Exceed. Exceed's going to add back the Nervedo. We're going to tribute the Nervedo in the spell trap in our hand to make non-finito. Non-finito will set Assault, which is going to allow us to extend further and allow us to make an early Varudras, which I think is better than getting the recapture here, since this plays around, again, the hand traps that we are normally so scared of. We're then going to go ahead and use Exceed to summon back a Pendulum, and then we're going to activate Assault to search Medius, normal Medius, get another Power Patron from the deck, and then we'll turn those 2 into Mercurium. Mercurium will attach a monster from deck, and then we'll link into the Link 2, add Theorealize for follow-up, and then link into the Charmer. The Charmer will do its thing, and again, we've made an early Varudras and ended on non-finito. It's insane. It's very, very strong. For my last combos of this video, I'm going to be showing off the Shade combos. We're going to start with 1 copy of Shade. I am not going to be showing off Pendulum Treasure combos in this video, because all of the combos you would do with Pendulum Treasure are just combos you would do with Shade, but with your normal summon intact. So not a whole lot really changes, to be honest. since you can do all the Pendulum Treasure combos the same as you do the Shade combos. Just now you have a free normal summon if you want. We're going to put Nervedo in the extra and then use it to summon Gepredo. We're going to link into Clockwork Knight. Gepredo will search Terminus, and then we'll use Terminus to send Genoldo and add Vidolium. We'll scale Vidolium and then summon back the Genoldo. We'll trigger the Vidolium to add a copy of the Trap card. We'll link into Beyond the Pendulum, and then we'll use Beyond to search out the Lechery, and we'll add back the Vidolium. We'll then scale our 2 monsters, and then pend summon 2. We're going to go ahead and link into Exceed the Pendulum, and then we're going to bring out our non-finito, and then Exceed will bring back the Nervedo we tributed. We're going to set Recapture from deck. We're going to make Mercurium. Unfortunately, we can't protect it from Varudross this time. We're going to use Charmer Quartet and Bloom to bring back our 2 monsters. So this is the weakest 1-card combo for sure, because it doesn't have the insulation from Varudross, and it is a lot weaker into hand traps since the Shade is pretty easy to stop. If they see you normal summon Shade, it's a pretty good bet that they probably don't have a whole lot else to do. So this is a pretty easy combo to stop, but it does get you there. It gets you to the Sloth, it gets you to Recapture, it gets you to non-finito, so it's still pretty damn good, to be honest. And now we have an improved version of that combo, which is literally just Shade plus any other card in the hand. So we're going to go ahead and go Shade. We're going to pop itself, put the Nervedo in the extra, and summon the Gepredo. We're going to link the Gepredo in a Clockwork. We're going to Gepredo add the spell, and we're just going to do the same combo we did up until this point. I guess since I don't have anything else to talk about, since we're just doing the same combo, I'm going to ask you guys to like and subscribe. Yeah, that's the YouTuber thing, right? Anyway, we did have a difference here. We're going to add Vidolia from the deck to the hand, instead of adding the Trap card, which will come up right here, as if you notice, we have both our scales, a card in hand, and Vidolia, which means we're going to be able to use the Vidolia to summon from deck a Power Patron before we Pendulum summon, and make our Exceed the Pendulum early, which lets us do all of our bullshit. So we get to summon our 3 monsters, and then we get to Ixies for Mercurium. Mercurium will attach the Sloth, and then we'll link these 2 into the Link 2. I do hate that we have to use one of our 10s here to do this, but it is what it is. We would have needed an extra body to do it. We're going to go ahead and use the Mercurium, or the Medius, to shuffle back the Link 2. Then we'll use the Ixie to summon back a 10, and then we'll use Medius to summon a 10 from deck. We'll then make a Varudross with our 2 10s, and then we'll link into the Link 4. So this combo does let us protect our Charmer Quartet and Bloom from something like an Impulse, since we get to make the early Varudross. It's a little clunky, but it does get us there. And this is usually the Shade combo you'll be doing, because you will probably have a card in your hand. It has to be any card, nothing specific. So that's all the Amorphage combos I have to show off for this video. In the next video, I'm hoping to do probably the Fallen and the Virtuous combo, where I'm using Zena to send Albion. It's probably what I'll be doing in the next video. Notably, that combo line, you can also probably add to some of these combos by linking off the Charmer Quartet and Bloom. Although I guess not, because the Goliath locks you out of extra deck summons, so maybe not. But anyway, I'm excited to see you all next time for the next line of combos. Again, hoping to get these out before the NAWCQ, so you guys can know how to play this deck to the best of its ability, no matter what build you want to play. I hope I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.